Hey Bess, did you know all of your favorite podcasts, including Be There in 5, are on Amazon Music? We all know finding the best listening platform can be a challenge, but Amazon Music does it right. To make the process seamless from start to finish, you can even listen on any Alexa-powered devices you have. All you have to say is, Alexa, don't want to trigger her. Play the podcast Be There in 5 on Amazon Music. Or if you're listening on your phone, download the Amazon Music app, search for Be There in 5, and click follow. Thanks for supporting the show. And shout out to Amazon Music for putting Be There in 5 on a billboard this week in Times Square. It was really crazy. Look on Instagram for more. Enjoy. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Be There in 5 podcast. I'm Kate Kennedy, your host. As I discussed last week, I'm having friends, loved ones talk to me these coming weeks because, going through something personally. And it's helpful to have friends of the pod on and to talk about fun, nostalgic, light things because ultimately we're here to entertain. And we haven't done a crowdsourced episode in a while. So I called in an expert. And by that, I mean an expert in avoiding getting in trouble at all costs, much like myself, because I had a feeling the best would echo some of the same when I prompted them with a crowdsourcing effort to hear about all sorts of like senior week, senior prank, beach week, like senior whatever shenanigans. And you guys did not disappoint. And by not disappoint, I mean you did not disappoint your parents because these stories were hilariously and awesomely mild. And Kelly and I talked through them while having other ancillary conversations. And I hope you enjoy it. It was kind of a funny random topic. And Kelly and I kind of kick it off like in another conversation. So I just wanted to tee it up here and we'll dive right in. But thanks for being here. I love you so much. And please enjoy this episode with my wonderful sister, Kelly.
I have a starter question for you if you're ready.
Yeah.
I have one hope for you in the airport tomorrow and Wednesday. Have you
What's that?
seen on your For You page the new Celine Dion trend
No.
where people
What
in
is
the
it?
middle of the airport stop what they're doing and they play it's all coming back to me and
Uh-huh.
they in the middle of the airport do like multiple pirouettes, like just drop their luggage and start pirouetting across the airport floor. And people so don't care. They're not even paying attention. They're just on their phones walking
That's
by.
so dark.
It's hilarious. And I really want this for you.
I bet I would pull it off well. An airport does seem like a slick floor where I could figure out a pirouette. But yeah, also I was trying to think of for like the billboard, because by now I'll have posted about it. You know how there's that like song that's like really dramatic? I call him Hype House Hosier, but I know he's like a serious artist. His name's Alex, and he was in the Hype House, but he has that song called Ordinary. Jealous,
Wait,
when we found
vaguely.
something so out
Yes.
of the order. It's like really, so people are doing, there's so many transitions where people are like doing something mindless and then they turn a corner and it's like, wow. And I'm like, I
Oh, you
can't
should
take
do
myself
that.
seriously for a billboard's at once the coolest thing ever. And also like, what do I,
No,
what do
I
I
think that's
do with
awesome.
my arms? I don't know what to do with my like arms, hands. Do I pose? Do I take a video? Because it comes up really fast, and then we're gonna have to wait like 40 minutes for it. It's kind of like the Eiffel Tower lights. It's like, oh God, that didn't last very long. Um, so what
You
I tracked down the shirt I'm wearing in my thumbnail because it was a rental.
No way.
It's a sequined mock turtleneck with a peplum hem.
Wow. Was this 2020?
Yeah, which is a little late to be doing peplum, but it's
It
a
was, but
rental.
I'm
What am I gonna do?
remembering. Yeah.
I found it off somebody on Poshmark because retail that shirt was like $900 or something, but I think I got it for maybe $100 because it's so
Oh,
used from Rent the
nice.
Runway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What was funny was when they were like toying with the billboard. So in case you missed it, Amazon Music, love you forever, so incredibly kind, looking out for me, a small independent show. They had an opportunity to put me on a billboard in Times Square that runs from like May 16th to 22nd, like 2 or 3 times an hour. And they show the thumbnail on like a huge screen, and then you have to pick like a headline or a quote. These are the ones I workshopped. I ended up picking more millennial than a going out top.
Nice.
because I just wanted it to be like something fun, like
Yeah, yeah.
cute, punchy, and something millennial. And I was like, I don't know how to get people to listen to this because the other taglines are like advice from your big sister, or like did it. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell this podcast is about. So if you like going out tops, that's like the very least.
Yeah.
So I considered fun within reason, but then I realized that was you, and I don't want to take a quote. You could sue me, Kel, if we ever
Oh,
have a falling out.
I'm waiting for the day to be able to sue you. It's all I think
It al
about.
it almost became a game of wanting something that was an inside joke on a billboard
Yeah.
because I don't know if people actually would listen because of it, and it'd almost be more fun for the best if it said like, why would I listen to something that's fun within reason? Um, I thought about we're with the bandwagon, like we're with the band, but the bandwagon. I thought about pop culture as our sport. One thing a thing I've said forever that I think is funny, but no one understands is making the mainstream our lazy river. But my favorite one that I really wanted to do that I wasn't sure would land is only fangirls. Isn't that kind of clever?
That is clever.
Not only
Ah.
fans, only fangirls. And that's what we are here at the Be There in Five podcast. But
Oh,
I was
hilarious.
like, it's maybe a little edgy for my Times Square debut, Cal.
Maybe, but it is funny. I mean, it would definitely catch an eye. But to your point though, I actually think the millennial comment might actually grab viewers, whereas like the only fangirls comment would be catchy, but they'd be
It
like,
would only
"What?"
be funny to the best. They'd be like, why? What? Because this is like the whatever an inverse OnlyFans account is this show. Like wearing a mock turtleneck with a peplum's hem.
From Poshmark.
Um, Kelly, this afternoon slash evening, so I'm like in these trying times, I'm obsessing over Teddy and trying to connect with Teddy, and I keep like playing with him on the floor and whatever, and it's fun because I notice when I like drop my phone and I'm really like paying attention, like you make eye contact, he like studies your face, like I think you have to almost be
Oh,
really intentional sometimes about connecting. Anyway, today when got my eyebrows tinted and he was playing with his magnetiles and I got on the floor and he like looks up and smiles and like starts to study my face as he usually does and his bottom lip curls out and he just bursts into tears because when you get your eyebrows tinted they start
oh,
too
it's
dark.
extreme. Yes, yes. He did
It's
not
held up
like
a
it.
tacky core.
Oh
um
my gosh.
he
Poor
started crying
Teddy.
and at first I was like, oh my God, and I like called Greg in. I'm like, What is it?" And he was like, I think it's your eyebrow." So we don't
Oh,
actually
that's
know that
amazing.
that's what happened, but
Oh, I'm sure that's it. I can sort of see them under your cap
yeah.
and we're far away, but yeah, they're if I'm seeing that they're dark and you're like 4 inches on my
uh,
screen.
I've just never noticed him noticing something about my appearance.
Yeah, yeah.
Feels like a milestone,
That
Kel.
is wild.
I took Teddy to like I was just trying to kill time on Sunday. I was like, what can we do with this child? And Greg had taken him outside for like hours on hours. I redid the deck and still that didn't last. I was like, we're going to Old Navy. You would think this kid has never left the house in his life. Um, he literally was in the shopping cart the entire time going, I was like, Teddy, it's not a roller. He was so excited. He was like, car, blue shirt, red shirt. Yeah. And he was
Oh
announcing everything
my
around us. The
God.
volume, I think that the problem is he looks like two and a half, but he's
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
even two.
Less than
He's
two,
still
right?
kind of a baby. Anyways,
Yeah. Oh my
he picked out
God.
all of his clothes. It was really cute.
Oh,
But he was just like so loud, so
oh
enthusiastic.
my gosh.
Anyways, and I realized, oh my God, I don't know how to I don't know how to like parent him in public.
Parent, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I was kind of like, what do I do? And then we went to Marshall's and he saw a school bus. And so what happened the next 15 minutes? School bus,
School bus.
school bus, school bus. And then I made the
Oh.
mistake of dropping his hippo in the crib. And I said, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bombs away. And now all he says is bombs away. And I'm like, why did I say bombs away, Kelly? Why did I say that? So he just walked around going, bombs away. I'm like, oh my God. Of
Well,
all the
this
things
is
I say to you.
a good reminder though, with like cursing in front of him.
I know because Greg and I were trying to find the perfect show that we were trying to find the perfect family unfriendly show that wouldn't be like triggering while we were just trying to like get through the
Mhm,
days the past couple
mhm.
weeks. And that show for us is Succession. There's nothing heartwarming, family friendly about it. But so it was kind of like
Ugh,
dully on in the background at points. And I'm like, we're a day away from Teddy being like, "Buckle up, fucklehead," and I'm gonna be like, "No, we can't watch." We really kind of have to stop watching
no.
adult stuff now.
No, I know. But I just was think when you were saying that, I'm like, oh crap, I have to watch like not like I'm crazy cursing, but just I just
No,
have to
you're like
watch what I say around
so
him.
wholesome. Do you hear Tugboat?
It's not bothering me, but I do hear him. How did he react to your late skin laser?
Oh my God.
When I saw you, you did not look well.
I didn't know you nutty professor swell. I didn't
Y-
know. So I got a Halo and
that
a
was
BBL. Um, Kelly and I, but we have this in common. In trying times, we lash out.
oh
Like
yeah.
we just do stuff
Yes.
to like do stuff. We don't get
Yes.
bangs, but we do like that metaphorically with other things.
Yes. 1,000%.
So I was like, oh, I've been meaning to fry off my face with medical grade lasers for a while now, but I heard the recovery is annoying. Let me do it in the week when I'm the most uncomfortable and pain and upset. Days 1 and 2, I was like, why did I do this? But now I'm fine. I don't know if you noticed, I don't have any makeup on and my cheek is
Oh,
shining like a dewdrop.
you are so glowy.
Yeah.
Wait, you're so dewy. Oh, okay. Well, then it's worth it. I was
Yeah.
afraid
It
that you
really
were having an
worked.
allergic reaction because I have allergic reactions when I use like hyaluronic acid, like my skin
Oh,
swells.
really?
Yeah. And so I was afraid that that's what was happening to you. But gosh, if
If you,
this is the result.
and after you said that, I got off FaceTime with Kelly immediately and asked Jessica from Innovative Med Spa where I get it done. If you ever want to go get something done, they'll give you your first treatment. I think 20% off if you mention me love them in Chicago.
Yeah, I got
Uh,
20% off last time I was there.
Regardless, I think that no, it was definitely worth it. The first 2 days were a little intense. I had no idea the swelling was that bad, but then I texted like my friend Claire who got it done and she was like, "Oh, I couldn't really see over my cheeks. They were so swollen." It's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this is normal." I'm just not used to doing hardcore beauty stuff, but basically it's a controlled injury and your face is responding like it's been
Yeah.
injured.
Yeah, it did. It worked. But now look at it.
I feel
It
glowing.
really does. I honestly thought you had like a new skincare or makeup routine going.
No, not a
That's
drop.
amazing. Wow.
Also, do you want to tell people how it's going now that you're an influencer? Cozy Earth's mission is to transform your 5 to 9, the time that matters most, into the most comfortable part of your day. CozyEarth's products, I mean, I have their bamboo sheets in my guest room, my bed. I have their duvet cover and duvets. They're like, all of their stuff is the perfect, lightweight, soft, gets better the more you wash it. Types of products and fabrics that, I don't know, keep you warm when you want to be warm, keep you cool when you need to be cool. I don't exactly know how it works, but everybody that stays at my house comments on it. Cooler sleep, unmatched softness, everyday luxury. I mean, even their loungewear, a lot of you guys did the BOGO for Mother's Day, buy one, get one pajamas. And I hope you understand what I've been saying. Having just like nice matching PJs changes my nightly routine alone. But just unwinding at home and feeling like luxurious in my own space, wrapped in their sheets, their pajamas, their blankets, all of the above. I don't know. It's made such a difference. And I really have loved investing in nice bedding. I paid for it myself. I buy all of their products by choice. Their cuddle blanket is like life-changing to me and it's like kind of weighted and substantial and it's like this faux fur two-sided blanket that like I can't endorse more highly. Regardless, if you aren't sure, you can get a 100-night sleep trial, enjoy over 3 months to experience the unmatched comfort of Cozy Earth. If you're not completely in love with your bedding, you can return it hassle-free, but spoiler alert, you won't want to. And there's a 10-year warranty on all bedding products. They stand behind the quality of their bedding with a decade-long warranty, and that means years of luxurious, worry-free sleep knowing your investment is protected because Cozy Earth believes luxury shouldn't be out of reach. Use code BeThereIn5 for 40% off best-selling sheets, pajamas, and more. Trust me, you won't regret it. That's code BeThereIn5 for 40% off best-selling sheets, pajamas, and more. Sanctuary awaits at Cozy Earth. Mark Fisher Ltd is casual luxe redefined. Their spring-summer collection seamlessly combines wardrobe essentials with the most coveted trends, made with quality materials, understated details, and impeccable craftsmanship. They've got everything. They've got Barely There minimalist heels. They've got dramatic tall boots. They've got modern spins on footwear essentials that, you know, turn your average regular minimalistic sandal into something that's somehow current that you can wear next season. I think the perfect sandal is the Alande, as I've told you before. It's a sleek, minimalistic silhouette that's like a kitten heel that actually does transition day to night. I wear it with tailored trousers. I wear it with jeans. I wear it with dresses. I wear it to weddings. It's the definition of an effortless, minimalistic shoe. I have them in nude and black. The Ivana, I'm going to wear throughout Italy. It's like a woven Mary Jane flat that adds like texture to whatever outfit you're wearing and is kind of different, but it's like the most insanely comfortable shoe ever. And it's a perfect like summer ballet flat that makes you feel a little bit more open-ended, but you don't have to wear like open-toed shoes in the city, you know? They have so many cute shoes that have effortless elegance, versatile styling, and seasonless appeal, and also like slip-on ease. Anyways, I buy a lot of their shoes with my own money and my own code. And if you want to shop now during their Memorial Day weekend sale for 30% off site-wide, exclusions apply. Sale ends on 5/26. Shop at markfisherfootwear.com. And after the sale, you can always use code BeThereIn5 for 20% off. Again, 30% off site-wide. Exclusions apply for their Memorial Day weekend sale that ends on 5/26 at markfisherfootwear.com. And after the sale, you can always use code BeThereIn5 for 20% off. Also, do you want to tell people how it's going now that you're an influencer?
Oh my gosh. I mean, has my world changed?
Has there been a glitch in the when I tell you never in my you being a dog related influencer, not on my bingo card, not on my, I mean, in any parallel universe. I mean, Kel, follow at SoCal Dogs for to learn more about Kelly's journey with fostering senior dogs on behalf of an amazing organization called Frosted Faces, who finds homes for dogs in their later years of life who are just the sweetest dogs who have this, unique set of needs. And Kelly has fallen in love with fostering dogs when she formerly wasn't like a very much into dogs, except for the one we had growing up, Daisy May, perfection.
Obviously.
But now you have a dog sitting next to you.
I know. It's honestly, it really is funny because I started this journey like a year ago, actually, this month. And it really has changed my life for the better. I'm excited. And then I realized though, because I don't post, I'm not public with my Instagram and I don't really story clearly. And so I decided I would create this extra account and that way I can just do like the dog stuff. But then you posted about it, which is awesome because it's bringing attention to these dogs, which is what I care about. And I got almost 400 followers, which I'm just telling you, I
You
like
felt overwhelmed in the spot,
I
the
have
limelight.
yeah, you could say that. I then realized I don't know how to post. So like it took me 15 minutes to do one story and I messed it up. I don't know how to do the
How'd
pictures.
you mess it up?
I somehow did it as a template and like put like the outline or something. I don't know what I did. I was like, how do I make pictures smaller so that it's not just one pic? Like the pictures are so big. I don't want them of me. I want them of the dogs. I need when I come to visit in a couple weeks, can you give me a tutorial?
Yeah, you pinch and zoom out, make the picture smaller, and then you go to another picture in your Photos app, click the three dots, click copy, and then go back and click paste, and just keep pasting other photos into it.
Wow, I had no idea. That has not come up in my research. When I tell you I'm so bad at this, I feel so much pressure. I also know I am not meant to be any sort of influencer because I was so in awe of my numbers and I was looking and then I lost a
Oh
follower.
no, Kelly Kennedy.
I can't do this.
Oh no, I didn't, this didn't even cross my mind. Kelly Kennedy, you're going to, oh no, what have I done?
No, 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 no. Here's what I do now. This is why I said I have close to 400. I've stopped looking. I can't look.
You
It's
have to
not
stop
good for me.
looking.
I also don't even know how to look at the data and insights, which is probably good because I bet it's just like a people click through as fast as they can. I don't care. I just like all I want is for the word to get out about the dogs. And by me doing this, Frosted Faces can repost my photos. Like that's the only reason I do it.
That's very altruistic. The only reason I do things is for self-promotion. And people are like, oh my God, did your life take off after your successful book? And I'm like, I literally lost 1,000 followers. I was at 105K and I'm now
God.
at 104.
God.
So just so
Oh,
you understand, what happens more often than not is people follow for somebody they're interested in that's adjacent to somebody else they follow. And like, let's say you post a photo of a dog, but your face isn't in it. They're like, who is this? And then they just,
right.
I promise you, your dog adoption content hasn't been controversial, offensive.
Who knows? Who knows?
Can I just ask you a
So
stylistic question?
sure.
Did I'm gonna be so annoyed.
Am I not doing a good job?
You're doing a great job. I just was wondering if there was like if you prefer Comic Sans.
Change it to comics.
Wait, I didn't know if you were. There's nothing wrong with Comic Sans. I just noticed all of your stories were in Comic Sans, and I wanted to provide some gentle feedback.
I was just playing. I was trying to learn how to use it, and then I was like, "Oh, comics."
It's whimsy. It's whimsy, and it's easy to read. A lot of people like to write books in Comic Sans because it's nice on the eyes. I, I'm not a font snob. I just wanted to let you
No,
know if you
no.
want to experiment with serifs, some less rounded glyphs, the options are
God,
there for
I'm
you.
dying. I am
I'm there
dying.
for you.
I so appreciate it. I say hi. Oh, look
Hi,
at those
Hale. Oh
ears.
my gosh. Hi. Oh, he's so
Um,
sweet.
I know 7 pounds, blonde Chihuahua. He's very sweet. He's up for adoption, $0 adoption fee, and you get a lifetime of vet bills paid for if you live here in San Diego and go to that
Really? Frosted
vet.
Faces
Yes,
is national though, right?
we anyone can adopt, but they're based here in
They
Ramona,
are.
just outside
Okay.
of San Diego. But anybody can adopt. But part of their like what makes them so unique is that they fundraise to have so that if you adopt a senior pet from them, that you can actually when you use their vet and go on site, everything is included. You don't have to pay out of pocket for
Mm.
anything, which for senior animals is a really big
Is
deal.
really is huge.
And that's how, I mean, if you recall Poppy Prosecco, who I had for almost 5 months, he got a pacemaker through them. I mean, it was
That's
all
right. Oh,
completely funded. So yeah, it really is a cool organization. I won't, yeah. So that's why I'm a dog influencer
please
now
don't
with
DM
somewhere
her.
between 300 and 400 followers, but I'm never going to look again. Oh, I also,
If you
oh, if you
unfollow her,
DM
I will
me,
hunt you down.
sorry in advance if you DM me, you know I can't keep up with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't even look,
I
Kel.
am so bad. Social
I
media, I
wouldn't even
just,
look.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
There's been like a
okay.
couple times on the show we've been like corrected or something. I didn't think you'd survive. Uh,
Oh, I wouldn't survive.
because I've gotten used to it, but like, yeah,
Correct.
yeah, it, I really do think that you've done a really good job with stories. Templates are funny because what you're doing is creating a template that other people can use to create their stories with. So like you're
Oh, I bet
create
everyone's running to my page for my templates. My God. That's why I have
You can
so many
also put fun
followers.
music, Who Let the Dogs Out.
Oh, I could.
They call it Puppy Love. Plenty
Makes
of
me think.
tunes to experiment
Well,
with.
I know I have tried to put some music to it. I thought of one for him earlier. Now I forget. Yeah, I got it
For Hale,
for Hale. Yeah.
all I can think of is Hale
So,
Bop, which is a darker.
well, I also, when I say his name, it's Hale, and all I think of is my friends from the South saying hell, Hale.
Oh, yeah, Rotten Hale.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking Hail to the Victors or
Oh, yeah, that too.
oh yeah. Oh, Hail, no, you're right. That is a
Yeah.
Hail vibe. Um no, I love this journey for you. Follow at SoCal Dogs, but don't DM her and don't unfollow her, or else you will be hearing from me.
Or you can just,
I
I'm
will become
sorry
the
if I don't
Pilates studio
respond.
owner.
I'll let you look through it when I come visit. You
But
can
I'm
tell
very
me what
proud
you
of you, Kelly.
thanks, girl.
Did
Oh,
you ever
you're
watch
funny.
Another Simple Favor, Kelly and I, we think A Simple Favor is one of the finest films of our time. We told our mom she had to watch it, sat down over Christmas, Yuletide fair. And as we were watching it with our mom, we were like, maybe
Maybe
this isn't
not.
the best, maybe this isn't the Citizen Kane we thought it was.
It's such a good movie. I could watch it over and over. It's up there with Crazy Rich Asians in terms of plane movies. Like it just,
Y- You know who's in the center of that Venn diagram, Kel, is the
oh,
dude that
Henry
you like.
Golding.
Yeah.
Do I know that? Of course I do. I still remember when I gave up my barstool seat for him in
Oh
LA.
yes, that was meant to be.
That was a highlight of my life for sure. But yes, no, I love A
What
Simple Favor. I have yet to see the sequel. I can't believe I haven't prioritized that now that I'm saying this out loud. I will get on it this week. I'm
It's as if
dying
you
to
have a
see
life
it.
or something.
I
Um,
know.
have you consumed anything else pop culture wise you feel like you want to report on? Oh, I know what I was going to ask you. Do you want to, on behalf of all the people that watch that show, that's the most popular show I've never heard of, want to defend that show?
Okay, I was screaming. I know exactly what you're talking about. I was screaming at you because Tracker
I've
is
never
one
heard
of the
of
shows that if I don't watch it Sunday night, then I watch it Monday night. Like it, I don't know. It's on CBS. It's in its second season. It stars Justin Hartley, and the joke is every single episode is the exact same plot. He's going to rescue someone that like the police can't find, and he gets a reward. There's no variety. It is the exact
Oh, he
same
tracks down
plot.
people?
Yes, he gets paid to track people. But I think that's how I am. Like you know how I am with
It gets 8
Law and
million
Order.
viewers. That's
It's
like
so
unheard of these
good.
days.
It's so good.
Oh my God.
Yes, this is why I was screaming at you. Please, Beth, please tell me there was someone else that is in my same position.
It says CBS wins Nielsen's first full season multi-platform ratings among broadcasts led by Tracker. Let me look at the rankings. Oh my God. This says 2024 to 25 season to date primetime programming ranked total viewers. Tracker 17.5 million. To Matlock 16.1 million.
They redid
What is
Matlock.
what is High Potential? What is Georgie and Mandy's first marriage? What is
Oh, with
Ghosts? Will Trent, Elsbeth, Watson? I've never heard of any of these.
yeah, they redid a few shows. And then High Potential is with oh my gosh, the Philadelphia show. What
Oh,
was the
Always Sunny. Yep,
Always
yep.
Sunny. Caitlin Olsen. Is that her name?
Yes, who is
Yes, it's
married to
actually
Ryan Reynolds' business partner
yes,
for that soccer team,
Rob
McElhaney.
yes. Well done.
Glad we worked through that, Kel.
We really did.
Yes, Caitlin Olsen.
Caitlin Olsen, yes. It's actually a really good show.
So your
She's a
CBS's
maid.
uh 55 plus demographic.
Yes, it's me. I'm the one watching. It's a show about she is a maid and she ends up like she's really smart and so she ends up solving these crimes. They ask her to like come work on the like as a part of the like police force, like task force.
Like the plot of Blue Crush. Remember they were like they didn't solve crimes. You know
But
there's a
Mary-Kate and
Matlock
Ashley did.
reboot by dinner time, in fact.
Yeah.
Um, do you know Georgie and Mandy's first marriage?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
This is making me realize, Kelly, why my podcast isn't more popular. It's women like me that get out of touch with the general
Like
population.
network tel well, no, but I do think there's like a resurgence now. There was so much on all the apps for so long, and now there's a bit of a resurgence on like I guess you'd call it network
Traditional
television, like
broadcast,
traditional,
yeah.
yeah.
Also, that Justin guy, what a like zero to hero situation where he was married to Chriselle, struggling actor, never did anything, then gets on This Is Us, Last of
This
Us,
is
This Is
us.
the End is
This is
net
us.
near.
No,
There's
this
so
is us.
many. Probably makes decent money from that, not like FU Modern Fam money, but after Tracker, I mean, guy's set for life.
Oh, for sure. Well, you know, he married the woman that he had an affair with, and
Oh, he
she is
did.
sometimes a guest star on Tracker. And you know what? As I'm saying this, I should fact check myself to make sure that I'm saying that accurately, but I am 99% sure that that's who he had the affair with.
Are you spooked and wanting to fact check because of a DOMD? I was just
Yes.
telling Kelly I had to re-upload the episode. I'm sorry if anybody was outraged, but there was like a tiny part of the episode where Nora and I talked about how Zach Affleck wanted to be a DO, not an MD. I don't know anything about the differences. Anyways, I can't deal with the emails and messages, so I just re-uploaded the episode. The one time I don't edit, Kel, I
Truly. Well, I feel like
people
though
say I'm
you
crazy for how
had,
I fine tooth comb my episodes. This is why.
well, I know, but it's like I just feel bad because you just had like the worst week and then I know it's your job, like you're getting back into it and then to yeah, so
It's
sorry.
always just scary. Like I'm like, oh God, what did I do? You always feel like your entire livelihood's like one accidental misunderstanding away
Yeah.
from like people, you know? We were just like slap happy recording late, like talking about nonsense. Also, I would be shocked if what's Chriselle's fandom, the Chriselles by the seashore? I don't know. I doubt that they're as hardcore. Because I understand defending your profession, but did you find the answer you're looking for, Kelly?
Well, according to the AI overview that I received on Google, it says that while there were rumors circulating, sources deny these rumors. So I stand corrected.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
So basically, what I do know, 99.9% sure, is that Justin, I think, starred in a TV show with this other woman. I'm blanking on her name. And
Uh-huh.
then they mysteriously he and Chriselle got divorced, and he very quickly ended up being in a relationship with her. And I'm pretty sure that they are now married.
And that's what we saw going down on Selling Sunset, which
Correct,
prior
exactly.
to
Gosh,
Tracker,
talk about, wow, I haven't thought about that. I mean, that episode,
yeah,
I don't know why. It was really intense because you could just tell it was very real. And she physically looked so ill so quickly. It was like
which
you
is
just were
interesting on a
gutted for
show
her.
that is shellacked
Right.
in
Right.
nonsense.
Exactly. Exactly. I know it was very wild. But anyways, she is a guest star. She is one of his biggest tracking competitors in the biz. And sometimes they work together.
Is
His now
is that
wife.
a job? Is that like a W-2 job? Like
Oh
what's a
no, I'm
track?
pretty
Is it
sure you
like
get
Dog
cash.
the Bounty Hunter?
Yeah, but like for missing people. So in some scenarios, they don't want to
Oh,
contact the police. And so they contact him. In some scenarios, the police or FBI like can't find the person. So they contact him because he has, different kinds of methods for finding people. He's not afraid to use
a
physical
special
force.
set of skills.
A
What am I
special
saying?
set of skills.
Wow, I'm hooked, Kel.
Yeah, tell me about it. I'm so
I feel
glad
like you'd love The Pit.
I'm watching it now.
I've been advised by many friends close to me to simply
Um,
I could never handle the
you
graphic
couldn't handle
nature.
the first 3 minutes of episode one. Like it is
Yeah, I feel sad because
every
the people love
episode
it.
every episode is so graphic, realistic. Like I don't mean that it's a realistic show is what I've heard.
I've heard medical professionals say, and medical professionals again, I don't. It's okay if you don't feel this way. Say that it is the most accurate medical screen, like whatever fictional show
Yeah,
to come out like ever. And apparently ER is like suing them because they think they stole their
yeah,
concept. Does it take place
that's what
in
I
an
heard.
ER?
Yes. So the concept is, wait, let me make sure I'm not getting my medical shows mixed up. So it takes place in Pittsburgh, in the ER, and each episode is 1 hour of a day.
Oh, dang.
So it's like, so you're watching everything play out very slowly, but like, so characters, like side characters actually play a bigger role because they are in it in multiple episodes, if that makes sense.
God, it's an interesting concept, and I really wish I could watch it. It's tough being left out of popular culture because I have a weak stomach.
I think, yeah, it wouldn't be anything that I would
Might be
recommend
triggering, Kel.
watching anytime soon. Yeah.
Kelly, do you remember being like a fifth grader and watching Columbo?
Oh, of course. Oh, in another
Well,
life, in a past life, I for sure was some sort of investigator.
for
It's
sure.
it for sure. Like it's all Columbo, Unsolved Mysteries. I guess Rescue 911 wasn't really in that realm, but I was always very intrigued. It's just, there's something to it. And the amount of SVU that I watch, I don't know, maybe I should have a career switch. Is it too late in my 40s to move into tracking?
I mean, as every investigator does, just rely on Google for the top AI answer. Maybe ask it if you could do a career change. An interesting, yeah, categorization of like Bravo gals versus not versus, but like I do think there's people that watch like Bravo in the background or SVU. It's almost like
Yes.
one of two camps. It's like people fighting calms you or people like like getting murdered.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like its
That's
own
sums
different
it.
types of conflict.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, you also have a very large group of investigators at your hands in the best because when you put that all call out to figure out what's going on with Real Housewives of Chicago, I feel like you got a ton of feedback.
I had a cast list in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Um,
It's so
which
impressive.
is I feel like it's gonna get a pilot and it's never gonna happen. And you know what's funny? I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but you know Kelty Knight from E, who has the Lady Game
Hmm.
podcast. She DM'd me. She was like, "Oh, I told my friend who's like producing it or whatever. I mentioned like you were in Chicago, like I put you up for it." And I was like, "I can't imagine why they didn't." Like I just like, what
Would
would
you
you
ever,
even
if,
look at? What would you
would
listen to?
you ever do
No.
that?
Mm-mm. Like I can honest to God say with 100% certainty that I don't I think it's worth it for your business and I think it's not worth it for your family.
Yeah, I know. That's such a hard call because I bet they offer money that sounds good, or you think they would. But then
Yes, it
it's
would
like, is
sound
it?
good.
Yeah.
Take over your life. You wouldn't know if the season was getting renewed. And then when your livelihood becomes contingent upon your real life drama that has to play out on camera, as a gal in like the toddler phase and childbearing phase of life, the drama's just going to be about me, my husband, or my toddler. Like there's not a lot going on
Yeah.
around here.
Well,
Um, and I also like just see my husband like Jim Halpert staring at the camera, breaking the fourth wall and being like, why is that guy in the he would just be like, why are these people here? And what I just don't
yeah.
see him loving it.
Uh-huh.
He would like it for the business opportunity in theory, but I think
Yeah.
that filming in your home and stuff would be so weird. It would be
Yeah,
like
I
Lindsay
agree.
Arnold filming Day in the Lives with every camera angle ever around every corner of her Utah mansion.
Right. Well, no, I know, which I'm so addicted to her videos. But then I'm like, I couldn't keep that up. Having the camera
Can
set up
you
at 5 a.m. for my wake up before I do my workout and ice bath.
This is what I mean, Kelly. This like I want when I grow up, I just like want to fundamentally change as a person. A person that's like that gets up at 5 before their kids and she's like, I'm gonna do an hour workout with like 6 circuits, then some weightlifting, then a sauna, then a cold plunge, then a shower, then do my hair and get ready, then wake up my 2 kids. I'm like, Kelly, that to
No.
me, that is me in confinement. That's me in a detention center. That's me like that is a horrible way to live. And I just wish I was a person that found solace
Joy in
in
that. I
that.
know.
Yeah. What do you want a sauna and cold plunge in the morning?
No, and like I actually would have been commenting because I was so regimented with my like morning workouts for so
Oh
long.
yeah.
And I feel like I've fallen off the wagon a bit because like on occasion I get a foster dog and I use it as an excuse. I'm just like, if I had kids, there's no way I would have the energy or wherewithal to do that. However, I say that and I do know people that because that is their only alone time, for them
Yeah.
that's like the time to do it, which I get.
I know. I just want to
Yeah.
grow up and be a morning person so badly, which you are one, but 5 a.m. is a
I
different story,
am, but
Cal, because you
5
and I
a.m.
have
is
probably
different.
both just
No,
fallen asleep.
right.
Not
I know,
great.
it's so bad. It's so bad.
This is like deeply unimportant, but I texted this to Caroline Moss and she didn't respond because again, deeply unimportant. But I these are things I think about.
Caroline?
Arnold going to Norway with her boyfriend who's a football player at USC and she's
Yeah.
doing like a cute vlog. All I can think of is in the background I see that they're sitting in the middle section of row 37 on a plane. She's on Dancing with the Stars, Kel. Are you not flying business if you're on Dancing with the Stars?
Well, do you think she flew with his family? Like, and wasn't
No, it's
gonna
that
be
them two. It's like a romance trip. A wholesome romance trip.
the two of them didn't fly even business class?
No, they flew in the middle section too. With stragglers, meaning people they don't know. They,
No,
like,
that's shocking to
and,
me.
and to be clear to the audience, the people that will fly in row 37 in the middle is like me and Kelly. I'm saying I like to think if you're on one of the highest rated major network shows, and
Besides
you're a
Tracker.
pro, besides
Yes.
Tracker, I mean, it's not FU Tracker money, but I was like, I feel like she's making good influencer deal money and
No,
stuff. I don't know. It just surprised me. Anyways, this is a
yeah.
podcast about the Arnold sisters.
I can't
Um,
believe that Caroline didn't respond to that really important text.
I know.
Caroline,
Rude. Mid
so
workday.
rude.
Um, so Kelly, this like episode concept actually it's appropriate you're here because it's I think based on either your idea or something you said to me in passing about an experience you had senior year. And I Courtney put the stories together for me, so I don't know what we're in for. could be nothing. It could be fun, but I just was like, it's May, end of year, congratulations, graduate vibes. Is there any like fun senior stories or like something nostalgic and breezy that we can tap into? And the reason I thought of it is because you mentioned this thing we used to do called Senior Assassins that is so
Hmm.
weird in hindsight. But can you explain what that was and what your experience was?
Yeah. So in high school, there was a thing called Senior Assassins where you'd sign up to participate when you were a senior. Everybody, I mean, this was way back when, so I don't know if it was computer generated or literally draw from a hat. Like, I feel like it was very old school. You would get the name of a person, and then your goal was to, whether it was a water gun or a water balloon or a tag. I forget now the details of what our class did. I think there's different ways to do
Like a
it.
Nerf gun.
Yeah, Nerf gun maybe. Yeah, like, but it was literally called Senior Assassins with gun.
So
It's
weird.
crazy. And so what would happen is you would go and assassinate the person. I guess it's okay that I'm saying this because it's in the context of a game. As I'm saying this out loud, I'm like, this is weird to say. You would
You can say
assassinate
tag if you
someone,
want, Kelly.
tag. Okay, I'll say tag. I feel better saying tag.
I love the idea of your voice being taken out of context.
Like
So
the whole
you would assassinate someone and then they would call their friends. You go to Chick-fil-A.
listen, AI is coming after me. I just know there are so many people trying to impersonate me in my life, so I have
So
to be
many
careful.
people. So many.
Before I know it, I'm gonna have a lion as my profile picture, and they're just
They're they want to sue me.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
If you listen to the Katy Perry episode or whatever, ET Phone Homes, that woman who thinks it's me who left her a bad review for her Pilates studio, even though the person's profile picture is a lion, and she says, it's your profile picture. So
The name is Kate Kelly, right?
apparently.
Apparently.
And I'm also disturbed at the idea of somebody Googling Kate Kelly Richmond and like us coming up
I
as if
know, I know.
I hate that. Um,
Well, they're probably going to use my assassin comment now.
I know. I don't want you dragged into my mess. Kel, since
Crazy.
then, they've shut down their, I guess Kate, this person left a review on Yelp. So she comes at me for leaving a Yelp review. She says she's gotten her lawyers involved. She's going to litigate if I don't take it down. Again, can't take down a review I didn't leave, but she's deactivated her Instagram so I couldn't respond and shut down the Google business. So like she's so bothered by this one review that she like shut, but it's a real Pilates studio.
Okay, I gotta ask my friends about this. Like, if any of them know this studio, because I have like Heather's coming in town this weekend. She does Pilates. I'll
Hey,
have to
Heather,
ask
do you have a
her.
really vindictive Pilates instructor?
Oh my God.
But yeah,
Crazy.
so I don't know if I'm about to get served. Time will tell. If talk about senior assassins.
Truly. Okay, yeah, sorry. Back to that. So basically someone tags you and then you have to give them the name of the person you had. Then they have to go get that person. So anyways, as I've shared on this pod before, I wasn't the most popular girl in high school. And it's all I ever wanted. It's all I ever wanted. And so, as we also know, because you and I have big yearbook staff energy and we were both
Hmm.
editors, there was a popular girl who I was on the yearbook staff with, and she called the house phone, right? Way before cell phones. She called the house phone and said that there was something to do with yearbook and that she needed to come over to talk about it with me. And me being the loser that I was, I got so excited because this
Girl.
person was coming over to the house and I answered the door and she assassinated me.
I'm so sorry. It kills me, and I'm sorry to make you repeat it. But this,
It's okay.
I
It's
want to put it on the
hilarious
airwaves so
looking
people
back.
think twice. If you're a cool girl
So,
listening, maybe consider that somebody wants to be friends with you and stay a little longer than
well,
when you tag them.
in her defense, she kept apologizing. She was like, "I'm so sorry I did this." Like she felt bad. So it is what it is. Who knows what happened after. I don't know if I cried or if I let it go. I'm sure I didn't
Was
let it
she
go. Who am I
popular or
kidding?
was she cool? If you're a one millennial, you know the difference.
I know, and I'm trying to think back to like this time. I feel like I would go with, oh, I do know what you mean. I feel like she was popular.
Yeah, she's on the yearbook staff. That's more the vibe. I feel like actually cool people were more newspaper.
Totally. They were way, yeah, exactly. That's actually a
Breaking
really good way to
news.
differentiate the two.
Yeah, cool is
Yearbook
newspaper.
versus news.
Popular
Yeah,
as in involved is yearbook.
yeah, for sure. So that was that. Now, here's what's interesting. I would have bet my life that this is no longer going on because or that you call it senior assassins. Breaking news for you. I asked my boyfriend about this and I was like, "Did you guys have senior assassins when you were in high school?" He was like, "No, but my oldest daughter did 4 years ago. She was a senior in high school 4 years ago, and their
Yeah,
school did it. And they called it senior assassins."
they called it that. See, I would think Gen Z would call it like senior unaliving other people,
RIP.
which
Exactly.
is a little
Like,
clunky.
no, it is a little clunky, but that's I would agree.
I'm glad to have confirmation because people mentioned like a lot of best mentioned that they did it, but I don't have any proof of it being like a modern thing being done. And it probably comes in different forms, but like but weirdly, I have no memory of doing it. Slash, I don't think I did it. Maybe because of your harrowing experience. You didn't bake before she came over, did you?
I mean, probably. I probably had a whole spread.
I remember thinking it was so weird that how obsessively like mom cleaned before like family came over, and I was like, if it's your family, why do they care? It's kind of like, you know what I mean? But now you're my sister, and I clean for you, so
Yeah. I
I get
mean,
it now.
I feel I think though if we think about our rooms when we were growing up, they were very different.
I don't really were you tidy?
Hmm.
Like, did you make your bed every day? I don't even remember.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
But
the
I
door
feel like
beads were kind of a barrier, so I didn't really go in and out very often.
why didn't you army crawl under them so you wouldn't make noise? That's the polite thing to do. I feel like I remember you saying once, I hope I'm not making this up, but I feel like I remember you saying once to like my college friends were over and you were like, "Yeah, I just don't clean like clothes because I just buy new ones. I use all my money for buying new clothes." Like
Oh
that was
my
your
God.
reasoning.
She's a monster.
Ask April. I vividly
Did you
remember this.
did you like tell people you had a stereotypical like terrible sister at home and then I would say stuff like that? Because
Oh,
something that
no.
also happened that keeps me up at night is
Oh
I was
no.
quoting Sex in the City, and I say this as a person that has one myself that asked for this. I made a
Oh.
comment about, can you imagine a pear-shaped diamond with a gold band? Because Carrie Bradshaw made a big fuss about a pear-shaped diamond. I go, I didn't know. I don't. Who's listening to me? I'm shopping at Steinmart. Um, and then your friend came
Oh.
over and had just gotten engaged with a gold band, and I was like, unalive me. Because but
I
I
remember
still think
that
about that.
vividly. Oh,
But
don't.
I have a gold band. I only wear gold. I I was in peak Pandora Tiffany core, and I couldn't look away from the
Oh,
silver.
listen. No, I get it. It's also funny because it's easy, especially at like young ages, to get so headstrong in something like without even thinking about it's just like, oh, I heard this quote or this is, and then you just run with it.
I
Well, you want to know
shudder.
something embarrassing? When you ask how I described you to people, again, because of my quest to be cool,
Oh, I don't know if I want to hear this.
college. I was in college and I would talk about my sister that was like on homecoming court in high school.
Well,
Like
Kelly,
I
that
would
was the
talk
biggest
about
thing that ever. I was not on homecoming court. That would have been the biggest thing
yes,
that ever
you were
happened to me.
prom
I was
court.
on prom court, but
Oh,
that was 30
sorry.
people, and homecoming was four, which just ratio wise is different.
Interesting. Well, still, I feel like I
I
would talk
can't.
about your cool level when I was in college, as if anyone cared about my high school sister's like level of coolness, but I was so obsessed.
No, literally, when I found out I was on prom court, again, 30 people, very large denominator, I was like, oh my God, it's happening. I don't even think when I got New York Times bestseller did I have those kind of butterflies. Like that, it was just kind of like, I'm not a person that gets that. It was a very big deal for me, so I must have made it a big deal to you. And thank you for sharing that with your friends. I'm sure they were very interested.
Oh, of
And then they come
course.
home and meet me. How bitchy is it to have your friend's younger, annoying ass sister be like, I just buy new clothes. Can you imagine getting a gold
I
band?
do not
Ew.
wear gold jewelry.
No, what it was, Kelly, is I had FU CPK money. I was
I
working at
know.
CPK. It was my first job. I quit volleyball, and it was in the mall. And afterwards, I go to the clearance racks of Hex, Macy's, whatever, H&M, and I would just buy new tops, like literally under $10. And because this earth science teacher named Miss Martin, that was a cheerleading coach, that
Oh,
was cool, never repeated an
and
outfit. I just
beautiful.
decided arbitrary, like I was like, I'm not gonna repeat an outfit, and it became a hobbyist venture when I quit volleyball.
No, I love that for you.
Oh, do you need
It's
to take the
just so
dog out?
funny.
This is not important.
Sorry. So the dog because yeah,
Take
he
a
just
break.
woke up. Okay, I'll be right
Take a
back.
break. Bye. What a sweet boy.
So did you crowdsource stories, like funny senior stories, like senior pranks and stuff?
You know that moment at the end of the day, you finally slow down, you finally wash it all away, maybe you take a shower before bed. I love a shower before bed and a crisp pair of PJs and some nice sheets. It's not just about cleansing and removing makeup, it's about resetting. Ocean Wave Cleanser from Osea is a lightweight biphase cleansing oil that effortlessly dissolves makeup, impurities, and excess oil without stripping your skin. No oily afterfeel, no tightness, just soft, hydrated skin that feels as good as it looks. Okay, you know what's interesting is I recently got the Ocean Wave cleanser and I really like oil-based cleansers. I needed something that like I trusted when I lasered my face off that would be like a gentle cleanser that wouldn't overly dry me out, and this was like the absolute perfect thing that effectively removed anything excess on my face and now if I'm wearing makeup without disrupting my skin's moisture barrier. And whether you're double cleansing with an oil and something else, or just need a one-step refresh, it really kind of fits into any routine, morning or night, and supports all skin types from dry to breakout prone. If you love to double cleanse, you can follow Ocean Wave Cleanser with your favorite Osea cleanser, like Ocean Cleanser, Cleansing Milk, whatever you like. It just has this like amazing texture and scent. You kind of shake it up. It lightly emulsifies as you rinse. It's like the subtlest blend of lime and jasmine and is it bergamot? I assume it's not bergamot. It has this like unique shake to activate formula that dissolves makeup, dissolves impurities, dissolves excess oil, but doesn't leave behind an oily afterfeel, which I don't understand. But it has been a lifesaver this week when I wanted a gentle cleanser for my face that wouldn't completely dry it out. I just love everything about Osea and their vibe, their clean ingredients, and their formulations with the Naria seaweed. And anyway, what I'm saying is get ready for a new way to wash away the day with Osea's new Ocean Wave Cleanser. And right now we have a special offer just for our listeners. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code BeThereIn5 at OseaMalibu.com. That's 10% off your first order site-wide with code BeThereIn5 at OseaMalibu.com.
So did you crowdsource stories, like funny senior stories, like senior pranks and stuff? I was trying to think of our senior prank and I can't think of it. I clearly was not involved. I would never be involved in something that involved illegal activity.
I know. Well, that's just what I'm nervous about, not nervous, is like I crowdsourced this that are kind of like edgy end of year, like senior things because you're about to leave the school. But it's the Beths who, if you recall, I described in my book as people who love the song I Knew You Were Trouble, but absolutely hate getting in trouble.
Exactly.
That is Kelly and I's vibe. Per the honorable mention of it all, I like you and I never got end of year awards assembly awards. Like,
No, it was more like participation.
yeah, like we always got
Yeah,
participation stuff, but I never was like surprised in a ceremony that like my name was like never called. I was never
correct.
exceptional at anything.
Yes, yes.
Um, but yeah, people afraid of getting in trouble. Narcs don't always finish last because all my friends did the prank that were all the involved popular people that got the awards. And at baccalaureate, anyone who did the senior prank
That's
was,
right.
yeah, they got their awards stripped. So they had to give them out to like, they had to find people to give these awards to. And I got like the highest honor of this award. And mom and dad were so proud of me. And like, they just had to give them to somebody. And truly will never forget it as long as I live. I was so excited. It meant a lot to me. It meant a lot even that it symbolized like I just chose something that I knew wasn't for me and it worked out
Yeah,
in my favor. Because
that's
the
hilarious
like Emily and Hyla probably didn't care that they didn't get some like presidential award.
because they got
They
so
had their
many. Yeah,
accolades.
yeah. That's so funny that's how you got an award. So did you get like extra cords for it?
I got cords. I got like a scholarship to help pay for my books at Tech because of it. It was
Oh,
like a
wow.
big
What
resume
award?
item. I asked them earlier, and all it was is that, oh, they TP, we were TPing was all the rage. They TP'd the school, but like aggressively entirely. and hung underwear up the flagpole. And then she said, blank, blank called the cops on us, who's a girl a year above us, who, like, I still like in circles of friends. And I'm shocked
Hmm.
that she was the one who called the cops.
Allegedly.
But yeah, they like literally all got caught, names turned in, so on and so forth. And yeah, being narky feels good sometimes, Cal. Gotta say. So yeah, I don't know what these
I get
stories
it.
will deliver, but I'll pick a
Okay,
handful
let's
to read
see.
if that's cool. This person said, so in high school, I went to this brand new school. They had top of the line security systems, cameras everywhere. District super proud of their crown jewel. It's spring 2010, senior prank season. We had this idea that we were going to chalk the school. When I say chalk, I mean literal sidewalk chalk, the kind that dissolves in the rain and can't survive a strong breeze. Strong breeze. The school was tucked away at the end of this long two-lane road, like it had been purposefully placed there to isolate teen behavior from the public, which made it easier to sneak into. So this group of seniors shows up late at night, ready to pastel the place to death. But as tradition, when unsupervised, teenagers try to collectively execute a plan, things escalated. Some of them swapped out the chalk for shoe polish on the windows, which, to be clear, is not easily washable. Also, somebody brought a chain and locked the main gate to the school parking lot. The next morning, chaos. Local news vans parked out front like it was a crime scene. It was the biggest thing to happen to our town in a while. 19 students got suspended thanks to that sweet new camera system. And not just a quick slap on the wrist, a full on suspension followed by extra days of in school suspension. If you've never experienced it, it's basically solitary confinement, but with algebra. I have never experienced it, so thank you for sharing. Meanwhile, I was at home, not involved.
Yep, tracks.
Honestly, at the time I was annoyed, but it felt like everyone got to be part of this legendary moment except me. But now, with the benefit of hindsight and a much deeper appreciation for not having a criminal record, I'm kind of like, thank God. My permanent record stayed pristine. My mom got to feel morally superior, and I got to write about it later on a podcast like the narc I apparently always was. And then she sent me a link to the Houston Chronicle story about it because it was
That's
that big of a deal.
amazing. Oh my
Because
gosh.
that's
I
what's
love
crazy
that
is you
she
hear these
wasn't in it.
things and you're like, oh, that's not that big of a deal. But
Right, right.
it's like local news vans.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of it's like people thinking that realizing they kind of bullied people and didn't realize it. I often think about the weirdest how senior traditions my school had. About 100 kids, Midwestern Christian school. We had something called Senior Chapel. It was an opportunity for these mean AF guys to make fun of everyone except themselves, of course. Parents and guardians attended. They did a senior countdown, starting at like 1 million and bouncing around to random numbers. The things in this countdown were awful. Outing a couple that was secretly hooking up, making fun of people for their most embarrassing moments, just generally mean shit. Mine was 803, the number of times this girl overreacted to something. Oh, wait, make that 804. I sat there frozen in my seat, trying not to cry, while everyone turned to look and laughed at me, obviously wanting to see if I'd overreact.
Oh,
Truly my worst nightmare. Okay, I don't really understand the numbers thing, but it sounds like they basically would like draw random numbers or announce random numbers and say the number of times somebody did something.
that's yeah, I'm guessing. Or they were keeping
And
track of how many times they thought she overreacted.
imagine if you didn't know you as a person were known for overreacting. And then that's in front of parents, the student body,
No,
faculty,
no,
staff.
nope, nope, nope.
In hindsight, though, some of our yearbook superlatives were kind of mean. Like most likely to lose your car while still in it. Kelly, that's mean. And my friend got it, who is amazing and not would never lose her car while still in it. And she was on yearbook staff. And I'm like, why didn't we put the I feel so bad about it, Kelly.
No, I look back on some of those because yeah, we tallied everything and I got nominated
Oh
clearly as a
no.
joke
Oh no, Kelly, no. Don't.
for best dressed.
You
They
maybe you had shiny
they
shirts and platforms.
no, I was wearing extra large shirts because I was very unsure of what to do with my body and short. Like there was no best dressed about it. Like it was
Kelly, I don't think they were making fun of you because that makes me want to die. Maybe they just saw you
no,
and they're like the first they
I'm
wrote down
just
the first
saying.
person they thought of.
No, I'm not. I mean, clearly I don't think about it. Like no, it's just like it's just funny. It's funny memories.
So funny, girl. We're laughing. No, No, but we were both on yearbook, so we had to count the
Right.
superlatives, which I think is crazy
Exactly.
because I too saw everything I was nominated for, but it never, per the confident anti-gold band, never repeat an outfit of it all, never occurred to me it could be a joke. I was like, oh my God, thank you. Um, but yeah, that was, I think we should have been disqualified. Like, don't nominate, you know what I mean? Don't nominate people on the yearbook staff.
Yeah, I think there should, or whoever the people were that are looking it up, like it should have been underclassmen that were doing it, not upperclassmen. That's like, I don't know why we, the editors, were tasked with that, but it's
You're
all
so
good.
right, Kelly.
It's
It
all
is
good.
so all good. Um, what is this? Sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm now realizing that I
What?
don't think any of these stories are juicy. My parents wouldn't let me go to beach week, and two of my best friends also weren't allowed. Our parents did allow us to take a short road trip, though. We spent 2 days in Colonial Williamsburg, including walking around with mob
Oh.
caps and our flare leg jeans and fleece vests. If I could have convinced them to go to Jamestown as well, it would have been the perfect trip. We spent a day at Busch Gardens instead. We had a ton of fun and made so many memories. All these years later, it's still funny. It gave me so much street cred as a history major in college. When we got back home and our classmates got back from the beach, I was actually really glad my parents forebo this particular trip. After hearing stories about getting kicked out of hotels within an hour of checking in, people getting alcohol poisoning and literally shitting themselves in front of everybody, yikes. Yeah, way less embarrassing to be a 18-year-old fan of Felicity Merriman. Our school had another tradition during Spirit Week. The seniors took over classes for a day. I took over a regular class, but my boyfriend at the time got to be a vice principal. He called me to the office during afternoon announcements, and we left school 10 minutes early. This is a big deal because there was only one exit from the student parking lot, and it got really backed up. We had pre-planned this, and I told my sister, who was a sophomore, that she had to find a friend to take her home from school that day because I wasn't okay. Kelly, the punchline of the story: she left school for 10 minutes early one time.
That's amazing. Oh my God,
Thank you
it's
for
so
sharing.
amazing.
Um,
I thought it was that had the potential to be juicy.
I know.
It's
I
so awesome.
I don't know that I left. I mean, school 10 minutes early. Did you, Cal? I have to let Tugwood in. You know what I was thinking about the
So
other
she would
day
let
is
me.
I had a couple incidents where I like severely bled through my pants and didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I did too.
They should have like something, I don't know. Like it was almost this really embarrassing thing where if you had it, like we were far enough past 90s grunge where if something was tied around your waist, you kind of knew what was going on.
Right. Oh, I vividly remember people would see someone with like a sweater, sweatshirt tied around and like call them out like, "Oh, she must have like
And
bled
like
through her pants."
as if we can help it.
Right, truly. Well, then I think about that and I'm like, how did we not have either backup like why did I not just have extra something extra in my locker?
I know. I think that's the thing is you never think it's going to happen until
Yeah,
it
I guess
does. And you're
so.
like on a plane. If you were to make fun of somebody for that today, I would hope the more empowered yous would be like, you're the problem.
Yeah,
Take an anatomy class, get a life. Um, but back then we had to pretend like we weren't humans that went to the bathroom nor menstruated
I truly, I know.
for
Things
social
have really changed.
survival.
I know, things have really changed. Now,
I just think it's funny what people remember. Like when I was a junior in high school, the senior prank involved a senior hacking into the intercom and saying, I have a big dick and smoke a lot of weed over the loudspeaker across the school. Everybody died laughing at the looks on the teachers' faces. It's like crazy to read that when I'm like, how is that? Would
no,
like
I can
people even
imagine.
be affected by that today?
No, but I'm thinking back to me being in high school. If someone had come on the intercom and said
That's
that,
true.
it would have been like
DEF CON.
shocking. Yes.
No, that's true. Because I mean, you remember Web Shots Gate?
No,
Do you remember the website Web Shots?
no.
There was a an online because before we had Facebook and before Facebook had like photos, the only way we could share pictures that each other took on digital cameras or disposable ones was putting them on this website called Web Shots. And I
Okay.
think our yearbook teacher found um I'll bleep it out, web shots. And it was just all photos of us on yearbook staff, like underage
Drinking.
drinking. And they like
Yeah,
got a bunch of moms involved, but for some reason, not ours. Maybe it wasn't enough photos. Maybe I wasn't doing anything that crazy. Mom
that's
like heard about it
wild.
through the grapevine and asked me, and I kind of brushed it off. But like
Yeah.
it was a huge deal. Because, like, what do you now I think about our poor teacher. You're a grown adult seeing these minor girls
R- Right.
illegally drinking and they're
Right.
looking at the photos on a school computer.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
sorry. We won't go
no,
through. Okay.
girl, I'm fine.
Also, remember when you were here, I like in passing said, Daddy looks hot. And then Teddy just picked up on Daddy's hot. And now he
Yeah.
still says it.
Oh, that's so
It's very
cute.
cute. It really is
I would
funny what they
die.
pick up on. Yes,
I
he
wonder what
is
he
a
wants to,
real
what he's
entertainer.
gonna pick up on about Kiwi. Hmm.
He talks about you and Pickle Pop Pop because he sees you on FaceTime, and I don't think he really understands.
I'm
Um,
so excited to see him. Tug, did you get a recent haircut?
yeah, he did, but I don't know what his problem is. What do you smell? There's nothing
Is
here.
he?
Kelly, you know what I can't handle in life
Tell
is
me.
smelling like self-tanner.
Oh, I
Sounds like I'm
agree.
about to lead into an ad, but no, like I put on a little, if I'm gonna go to, a warm weather place and expose my legs for the first time in months, wouldn't hate. But I don't want to live like this. I hate the smell. I hate how my it's like your whole it's kind of like the Charlie Brown character with the dust cloud behind. It's like your essence is self-tanner.
I
And
agree.
there's no brand that really rids of it.
I really thought this was a lead into an ad though. I was waiting for it. What did you try the PETA Murgatroyd?
Yes, I do like Peta Jane, but ultimately at the end of the day, literally end of day, I still just have a musk.
Yeah. I'm with you. Have you what about the drops?
I do like the drops to mix in the Osea body butter. That's a more
Yeah.
subtle like winter glow.
Also, I don't know, do you have any Amika ads coming up?
Yeah. Did you receive a box in the mail recently?
Did I? I can't even describe to you how excited I was when I opened this box. I had no idea what it was. I opened it up and it is literally everything and more that I could have imagined from Amika. And
They're so
I
generous.
so generous. They're so thoughtful. I also had ordered some stuff on my own. Like, ironically, that arrived that same week. So when I tell you my bathroom is a shrine to Amika, it's amazing. I have been alternating between the normcore, between the anti-frizz. I've been using the hair mask once a week. I just feel like my hair is really appreciative of the attention that it deserves. And I'm not like just saying that. It really is incredible.
There's a new product called Frizz Me Not Hydrating Anti-Frizz Treatment and Forget Frizz Anti-Frizz Shampoo and Conditioner. That the result is, glossy, sleek blowout, like you just left the salon, no appointment required. And you growing up, you devoted your
Oh,
entire existence to frizz reduction. So when they were coming out with this line, I was like, my sister Kelly would probably appreciate this more than anybody. And I love that they sent stuff to you because I just, per us joking about how you spent all of your time trying to smooth your ponytail bumps, like you have like very wavy, like more coarse,
mhm.
thick hair. And yeah, frizz was the enemy. Do you remember that?
Do I remember? All I've been doing in life is trying to achieve non-frizzy hair. And I'm just so appreciative of this.
Frizz Me Not Hydrating Anti-Frizz Treatment is the only product you need for hydrated, frizz-free hair days. It smooths frizz for 72 hours and locks in 3.4x more hydration. It's really the only product you need for hydrated, frizz-free hair days. It's heat-activated treatment spray, protects against humidity, reduces flyaway, static, enhances shine, and they do like clinical testing, which is so cool because they don't have to, but it reduces frizz by up to 74% for up to 72 hours in a high humidity, which is pretty wild. Amika is across the board is committed to quality. Amika means friend, and that means being a friend to the planet, being a friend to our community. Besides the frizz-related products, they have 11 collections to ensure there are options for all hair types, textures, and styles. And I'm so thankful to Amika for the partnership and also grateful that the Beths have been so supportive in loving Amika too. And their products are truly the best. And if you haven't tried any yet, check out loveamika.com/be there in 5 for my favorites. And for May, they are giving my listeners a one-time use code for 15% off your first order through the end of May. Just go to loveamika.com/be there in 5 and use code be there in 5 at checkout. That's loveamika.com/be there in 5, code be there in 5 to get 15% off your first order. This one says my high school had a scavenger hunt called Senior Scav right before the start of senior year. There was a list passed down from class to class of raunchy and mostly illegal tasks each team was supposed to complete and photograph to earn points. The one that sticks out in my mind are skinny dipping in a giant fountain downtown, shotgunning a beer on the steps of town hall, having sex on the tiger paw
What?
logo on the football field, and peeing on our rival school's football field. I just looked in our
What?
old class Facebook group to see if I could track down the full list, but no such luck. I did, however, find several pictures of people who posted their nude skinny dipping photos in the group, and I'm stressed on their behalf that those are still out
Oh
there
my God.
from like when the group formed in like 2005. Oh my God. In true Beth fashion, I called my mom to pick me up about 30 minutes into the evening because I found out there were handles of vodka in my team's car and I was way too anxious about getting in trouble. I think my class ended up being the last to ever do it because a group of guys from the rival high school were waiting at the field when the scavenger hunt teams arrived to pee on it and a physical fight broke out and there were several arrests. Oh my God. See, that's an interesting thing where um all of those things are like way too risky that I wouldn't even start. But I could also see a version of like an involved type or an organized type, like getting a list of things to do and like really wanting to complete
Oh,
the list in full.
totally. What a conundrum.
Do you prioritize task finishing or the law? Really, because to some,
I would
finishing
be so
tasks is their
stressed.
personal law.
Exactly. I would be so stressed about making that choice. I'd ultimately go with the law, but it would be tough.
It would be tough. This one says, I was a cheerleader during homecoming week. Senior cheerleaders would make 5 homemade garters out of stretchy sequin material. I have issues with garters. We'd wear them all week, and the game was that the football players would try to get us to talk to them. If we broke our silence, we had to give them a garter. The player with the most at the end of the week won a prize? Looking back, this seems questionable, but at the time we couldn't wait to bust out our hot glue guns and make flashy garters and have football players chasing us after a week. This was also a Catholic school. So the whole thing was pester these girls until they break, and if so, you get a garter, and that means you win.
That's wild.
Tough stuff. Do you always feel weird at the garter part of weddings? Because I do.
Well, yeah. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
especially, well, especially because, some brides just kick that leg right up.
I know, and
You
I'm
never
like,
know who's looking.
you live together. Like, why do I feel funny about
No,
this?
I know. I think it
Uh,
goes, yeah, we have issues.
the public display of future consummation is just not something I want people thinking about at my wedding.
No?
I didn't have a garter. Um, this one said, uh, is safe and sober grad night still a thing? It was all the rage in the late 90s, early 2000s. We got bused to a local ski resort overnight, had a bunch of carnival games, bounce houses, food, etc. Basically, the school's way of trying not to have anything bad. Yeah, there were a few things about this. Ours was called After Prom, which is probably pretty similar. And it's like the biggest fight mom and I ever got in. Did you go to After Prom?
No.
It was at the
Yes.
Y.
It was at the Y. Yes. And my prom date,
Oh, I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
those giant sumo wrestling
Yes.
costumes you can get into? They had a sumo wrestling ring, and my prom date got in the ring with another girl and accidentally like gave her a bloody nose. Like how traumatic. No, I would have loved if it was me because I had a crush on the guy.
It's like not soft
And
swinging, but hard swinging. He like
yes,
swung at
like
another.
literally. Oh my God. Yeah, I think I went home before I think whatever the curfew, it went till what, 4 a.m. or something? I think I
Yeah.
was home by 2.
I just don't know how to tell the citizens of America that, like, I just don't know how jazz people can get about a raffle. Like,
Right. It's just not fun.
it just isn't fun. And mom was like
Oh,
on the committee. I don't know if it was my all I wanted, like, freshman and sophomore, the ultimate status symbol as a freshman or sophomore is to go to prom. And my friends that were like mega hotties were going to prom. I went to prom like kind of with some person I barely knew. And he was in kind of a sketchy group that like wasn't going to after prom, but mom was on the after prom committee. So we like stopped by and then I tried to leave
oh
without her noticing,
yeah.
but she did. It was like a whole thing. But like, and shout out to the committee, you really did make the Y a place that was akin to, I don't know, maybe like a subdivision's Labor Day carnival. Like it was fine. But I still don't know if it will lure the kids away from partying.
I know.
Sumo
But that's
wrestlers, a
where
bounce house, raffles, and like a magician. We're not like
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese age, you know? I don't know what
Well,
the answer is.
and it's so many like seniors are 18 too. So it's like
Right.
like you are adults, you are, and I get that you still can't drink. I'm not trying to encourage that. It's just that I think people are going to. And so to be honest, though, I don't know what the right solution is. Like you can't encourage that either. So I don't
I
know.
don't know. I I think I also I heard like kids aren't even drinking anymore, so maybe it's like not even an issue.
Oh,
Maybe everyone's just on their phones, but we didn't have that luxury. We had to be present, and to be present in front of your prom date, sumo wrestling another woman a little too seriously. It's
yeah.
dark stuff.
Yeah.
You don't actually try to crush.
I don't even know what happened. I just remember all of a sudden he was comforting her because she had like a gauze up against her face. And I was like,
Oh,
what?
I'm being left for another girl.
I can't believe it. It should be me. I should
It
have the
should.
broken nose.
What is she?
Remember the sticky walls you put on the
Oh
Velcro
my
suit?
Kelly, that's what I was trying to think about. You run
Yes,
and
yes,
jump,
yes, yes.
and
Like
you really
that.
don't
And you're in
realize you
prom
don't have an
gear, right?
aerial jump until no, I think you changed into like
Oh, okay.
casual
I don't
to Sophie
remember.
shorts
Okay.
and like a
Oh, Sophie's.
t-shirt maybe, but you had to put on a full like Legends of the Hidden Temple like vibe suit that was
Oh, yeah.
Velcro to do that. But I
Yeah.
do
Your
remember
hair would
doing
get
that,
stuck.
and I was like a volleyball player, and my aerial jump, you like
Pretty
have
good.
stats, but it is awkward when you
Well,
barely
yeah.
make it off the ground on the Velcro wall.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom. The intentions are there. I thought this was really nice. I had a brutal senior year. I had to transfer to a small private school, but they did one thing my fall semester that I've never forgotten that was really amazing. Every single senior girl was on homecoming court. It was a small school, so it was only like 30-ish people, but they had a huge luncheon off school property just for the girls. And that night, our
Oh.
dads or a father figure would walk us onto the football field as they called our names. We got a rose and a trophy, and I know it's a little silly, but it actually meant a lot to me. I was not a girl who would ever be homecoming queen. It was a really sweet memory. I thought that was like
Oh,
really
that's really,
nice.
no, that is. That's really sweet.
And here I am being like, there's only 30 people. But like, no, it like literally
But we
meant
had a
the
class of
world to me.
500.
I vaguely remember my friends. So we had to rip everything off of LimeWire and we were trying, my friends were choreographing the senior prom court dance because you did a dance with like a guy on prom court and then like your dad or father figure or whatever would come and then dance with you at prom. I think it was maybe Hyla we wanted to do dancing in the moonlight, but I think she got confused. And then by the time we had practice, the only song she could find on LimeWire was "Dancing on the Ceiling" by Lionel Richie. So our like meaningful prom court song was "Dancing on the Ceiling." It just like wasn't very different song.
Oh,
Random. This one says, I graduated from a small high school in northern Michigan. Every year, the senior trip was a bus trip to Orlando for 5 days. We chartered
whoa.
buses. Um, this was the first time any of us had been on a chartered bus trip. We didn't think it was odd that the bus driver's wife and two young children came along too, riding under the bus in the luggage compartment. What? That makes me so sad. They would get out at
Wait,
gas stations and stretch their
what?
legs with us and then crawl back into the bus when we loaded up.
What?
Yeah, I'm confused. So the wife and the two young children would go into, no way. So it says when we were home and the pictures from my disposable cameras had been picked up, I was showing them to my family. Someone asked who the random children were in one of the photos. I told them they were the bus driver's kids and they would ride under the bus all the way there and back with us. Everyone called me crazy and said there was absolutely no way that happened. I couldn't convince them I wasn't making the whole story up until one day, 5 years later, I happened upon a news story about how that same bus charter company had been shut down by the feds for letting people ride under the bus.
Holy crap. Oh my gosh.
She attached an article. Looking back, I should have been more concerned that the children or anybody rode in the luggage compartment for 19 plus hours with no AC or any seats. But I was
Yikes.
preoccupied figuring out how to sneak out of our hotel room without breaking the tape, which is a noble quest. But
Yeah.
also, yeah, I'm like, wait, what? I wonder if they got like were selling tickets or something and got shut down. Like maybe those weren't his kids or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
That's kind of a bummer. This one says, I was a chronic rule follower, but my friend and I wanted to skip class one time to say we did. We chose our English block period because the teacher didn't take attendance. What did we do? We saw the Muppets movie in theaters, then returned to school for a physics exam. Wow, guys,
It
scandal,
tracks. It
scandal.
tracks. Oh, it's so
Um,
awesome.
this one says a guy. Guys, why did you write these? This one says a guy I graduated with had a family member that owned a warehouse. He was a quiet kid, but decided to throw a party at the warehouse. I didn't go, but a ton of kids did. As you can expect, underage drinking at a warehouse draws attention, and the cops were called. There was a fallout from the infamous warehouse party. People lost acceptance offers to school and lost sports scholarships. It was wild, but my class will. I guess every school probably has like their token big event that lost everybody a lot of things. This one's cracking me up. This one saying our tradition was called us the senior progressive supper. It involved loading up the whole class on a bus, and we drove around town, having each course a course of a meal at a classmate's house. And then she's explained to me a progressive dinner. For example, at Daniel's house we had appetizers. At Taylor's house we had salad. At Jason's house we had the main course. At Abby's house we had dessert. At each stop we played some kind of game and got a preview of the graduation slideshow. The parents were the ones putting it together, and I must commend them for all the work it took.
Oh.
You were so sweet. I do love a progressive dinner. But now as an adult, I'm like, that is time consuming to just get your courses in, Cal.
Can you imagine getting on a bus and going, and then imagine being the parents waiting? You know they weren't on time. Then you're just waiting around
No,
with your food getting cold. I don't think I
the
could do it.
pits. This one has to do with San Diego. This is the tradition was a
Oh,
senior sneak. We would sneak away at some ungodly hour to go to the airport. We had to fundraise from the time we were in sixth grade to pay for the whole class to go on a trip before graduation. That's interesting. Fundraising involved paying class dues every year, selling concessions at football games, selling pizza kits, hosting fundraising nights at the local Arby's. Shout out. My class had enough money to pay for all 50 of us to go to San Diego for 3 days.
ooh.
The school sent teacher chaperones with us and searched our suitcases for contraband before we left, but it was still unlike any other school sponsored trip I'd ever been on. We basically landed in San Diego and they were like, go, be free now, children. They arranged group transport to go to SeaWorld and to the airport, but other than that, we were on our own. There was no curfew. The only rule
Whoa.
was don't get arrested. If you get arrested, they threatened to withhold your diploma and not let you walk in the graduation ceremony.
Oh my
Classmates
gosh.
got tattoos and piercings, bought cigarettes, and smoked them because they could. I'm pretty sure multiple hookups occurred. It was a bunch of extremely sheltered country kids, more or less being out in the real world for the first time. Some of us even witnessed what we were pretty sure was a drug deal going down on Mission Beach. I thought everything was a drug
Probably
deal
at
that was like
Belmont
in an
Park.
alley. Yeah.
You know what? I bet they went to Belmont Park, which is like they have roller coasters. And it's like a little small amusement park, and they probably like
That
that
sounds like a
tracks.
perfect place for at-risk
Yeah.
behavior. I also, it's like usually people aren't doing drug deals in the most obvious of broad
That's
daylight,
so
but
funny.
I think it was the class after mine that made the school stop taking trips. Rumor has it that half the class got caught trying to buy alcohol. It was the first time many of my classmates ever flew on a plane or saw the ocean. I graduated in the early 2010s. It's kind of wild to look back on this. That's okay.
Mhm.
Thinking about fundraising for that since sixth grade is pretty interesting.
That is, yeah.
That reminds me of the TikTok video I sent you earlier, Kel.
Oh, the one where no, I don't know that I shed a tear, but I was
Oh,
very
I got
teary-eyed.
misty. It's
And
kind
I
of a
don't
good
even know
idea.
I don't know these kids.
It was so sweet. It was like an all boys school, and in sixth grade, they asked them a bunch of questions, and then they asked them again as seniors.
Well, and they had their sixth grade version of themselves ask their 12th grade version of themselves those
Oh, yeah.
questions. Like
It was
it was
so
so it's like,
sweet.
oh, so is your favorite sport still soccer? Are you going to the University of Alabama? It was just, oh gosh, it's just so heartwarming.
The part too that also like really struck me that I thought was beautiful was how it was like when they were little boys before their voices changed, like in their purest form of what they liked. And so many of them still loved the exact same thing.
I
And their favorite
know, I
movie was still The
know,
Water Boy.
I
And they
know.
still loved basketball. And I'm just like, oh, it's so
Oh,
sweet.
I
Like and
know.
important to like nurture those early interests that
Yeah,
you really hold on to. And like I don't know, something about that like really moved me. And I was like,
I
schools
agree.
like if you have FU private school internal fundraising money, like
Yeah,
get yeah, to have kids sit down in front of a camera and
yeah.
you won't see any dividends for 8 years or whatever, but I don't know. I think it's kind of a
But even if they do
worthy
it 9 to
venture.
12, because a lot can change
Right.
in high school. I
Vanity Fair
just,
does it
yeah.
every year with Billie Eilish.
Well, if Billie Eilish can do it, anyone can.
Exactly. I'm just trying to scan.
It's just so funny that most of them start out with a story and then the caveat that they themselves were
They
not
didn't
there.
go.
It tracks so hard.
Oh, this is kind of like what I was saying earlier. I was on the yearbook staff, Big Beth Energy. I was put in charge for vote counts. I honestly can't believe a teacher with a fully developed frontal lobe approved this, but the yearbook staff decided that we wanted to be quirky and do unconventional superlatives, aka misogynistic and kind of cruel. I can't remember all the categories, but some of them were most likely to get plastic surgery and most likely to be a trophy wife. Ballots went out and the votes count
Whoa.
started. We slowly began to realize that my best friend was winning, most likely to get plastic surgery, and another friend was losing by a handful of votes. The most likely to still be hot in 10 years category. And we decided that it wasn't going to work. So we began to commit election fraud and tossed out votes. Our yearbook teacher caught on to what was happening and screamed at all of us and canceled the senior superlatives entirely. It was the first time our school hadn't done them in many years, something she was sure
Oh
to
my
point out.
gosh.
In hindsight, we saved our classmates from embarrassment and honestly the school too. Putting those as in a yearbook is a bad look. It's funny
Yeah.
because you created the bad categories, but
Right.
ultimately staged a coup to overtake the
Right.
categories.
Right. It's the whole thing. It's
Can
so
you imagine
awesome.
being in her class and being actually the most attractive and best dressed and like losing your
Oh,
moment?
no, that would be horrible. But I am now trying to remember some of our, if we had any like quote risque categories that like we probably shouldn't have printed. I don't remember. I'll have to go find a yearbook.
I remember most likely to lose your car while still in it, and I'm like, oh my God, this is horrible.
I do feel like I wonder if because now I'm having a flashback. Did that come from Dude, Where's My Car? Remember that became really popular?
That's a really good question.
I all of a sudden I'm having a flashback of like writing superlatives based on movies. And I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyways, something to
yeah.
think about.
I obviously had a within arm's reach a yearbook, as one does. 2002. This is right after you left. Your
Whoa.
legacy. So we have most athletic, most attractive, most likely to have a family.
Uh-huh. I remember that one.
It's two people in a minivan with a fake baby. Most attractive is somebody that lived in our cul-de-sac. Sure, you can guess who it is. Shout out. She was always very popular. Most versatile, cutest, most likely to be on Broadway, most dedicated. These are kind of vague. Most likely to be Godwin's next principal, cutest couple, most spirited, most likely to break down in a car, friendliest, best smile, class clown, most individualistic. They do have blue hair.
Oh.
Most likely to win Survivor, most likely to be at every reunion, most likely to be the next Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, most changed. That's tough. I don't know if I like that. Best dressed, biggest flirt, most likely to have a hurricane named after them, most likely
What
to be
is that?
tardy to graduation.
Uh, funny.
These are pretty mild, all things
Yeah.
considered. When
I feel
I
like
open a
ours were
yearbook, Kel,
mild.
I have like a full body reaction. The way I studied all these people,
I Oh, and the layouts, the way that I would rearrange layouts, I like I still have vivid memories of how some pages looked before they went to print.
what was your senior quote again?
Life
Was it
moves
from
pretty
Shawshank?
fast.
It was from
No,
Ferris
it
Bueller,
was Ferris Bueller, yeah.
which is a good choice in a movie we both genuinely like.
Yeah.
But remember when you
What
told
was
me last
yours?
recording that your favorite you said you tell people your favorite movie is Shawshank, and I was like, who are
I
you?
love Shawshank Redemption.
I've
It's
never
such a
I've
good
never
movie.
in my entire life heard you talk about Shawshank Redemption. I've never seen it.
Oh, you've got to watch it. You have a long plane ride coming up. Give it a
Kelly,
shot.
the amount of dudes that have in my life that have told me to watch Shawshank Redemption. Oh God, the senior. Anyways, we don't need to get into this, but they're all Dave Matthews quotes in a very funny way.
Well, I do remember there being some quote like senior quotes that got approved that in hindsight they meant something different and I was too naive to realize that and we probably shouldn't have printed them, but people
I
were
know.
creative. I
People
feel
were
like there was
creative.
some too where they created a quote and like the first letter of each word or something meant like that was the actual quote or something
Very
that
Taylor
I
Swift
wasn't.
core.
Yes, very, very.
Oh, tough stuff, Adam. Picked a Woody Allen quote.
Ooh,
A lot of don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened.
any vitamin C?
Okay, a lot of like a few people wrote in, they're like, can we talk about how that song, like, I feel grateful to have been in school around the time it came out because it was really a song like for us.
No, I
It was
think
like
it came out my senior year, right?
it's really
I
quite
remember. Yeah.
moving. There's
Oh
not
yeah.
a song like it that's so specifically about graduation.
That reminds me, you know what also has been showing up on my For You page is
What?
remember that that graduation speech where he started it by talking about like if I had one piece of advice, it's wear sunscreen. And then it ended up
Oh,
turning
Baz Luhrmann.
into
Yeah.
yeah. That's going around again.
The wear sunscreen speech?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Well, I guess my question is, are you taking it seriously?
Who, me?
I'm wearing above SPF 4.
Yeah, I just purchased a bunch of 8, 15, and 30.
Oh, Kelly 30, I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
When you saw only one set of footprints, it was then I carried you. I've now seen
And
three people with an eye for an eye makes a whole world blind, and I'm not even deep enough to understand that. Not about the breaths you take, the moments to take your breath away. We get it.
hmm
Lot. It's almost like we should have told people when there were so many duplicates.
Oh, that's a
I
good
always
point.
knew, I always knew looking back on the laughs that they would make me laugh, but I never knew. Wait, sorry, what? I always knew looking back on the laughs would make me laugh, but I never knew looking back on the laughs would make me cry. I feel like that's slightly botched, but I get what you're going for.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure, for sure. A lot of Vince Lombardi quotes. Yeah, celebrate we will. Life is short but sweet for certain. That's like such a surefire way to like be normal. Okay, I'll stop doing this. This was planned every year during senior dead week between classes wrapping up and graduation. The class officers developed a list of tasks to be completed with associated point values, and everybody got hammered and ran around from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m., completing them and filming ourselves on digital cameras. We handed them to the junior class officers for grading. I worry about what footage remains out there from the years of this tradition. There was quite a range of tasks. Kidnapping a freshman and bringing them along the hunt with us for the night. Like going in their home and taking them.
It's like that
Kietz.
boarding no boarding school.
Oh, it's like
Remember
Paris
for
Hilton's trauma.
yes.
I know.
Yes.
That would not fly now.
No.
But actually, when I was reading that, I was thinking about how for Key Club and Kietz, there would be like those sweethearts, and they would,
Oh yeah.
and it was like so desirable because it meant you were like the, queen of the male gaze if the Key Club wanted you to be like one of their sweethearts, but they would come into your bedroom in the morning and like surprise you. I think
That's
if you have
right.
if you have parents that care about you, they're giving you a heads up. Like that surprise is simply not worth it in the grand scheme of life.
No, I know, but back then, do you think so? I think
Uh,
now, because
I would have
everything's
been so
posted.
mortified.
But I think back then it was all a surprise. I mean, think about your surprise party.
It was a breakfast surprise party, which is not what everyone expects for a surprise. Yeah, my sweet 16 surprise party was on a weekday in the morning. Shadow's mom was great. Love a croissant. I'm just glad I was, yeah,
Put together.
showered and ready to go. I do remember though, for Kietz, one of the sweethearts that we had to go wake up in out of a dead sleep at his house was a guy that I had a fling with. And since I
Oh,
kind of had a fling with,
scandalous.
but you know, have people you had flings with, it was sometimes awkward to talk to them in like normal settings. You know what I mean? Like party friends that you see in
Yes, yes, yes,
daylight.
yes, yes, yes. Yes.
Anyways, he had to be in my car and we had to be alone after we like picked him up out of a dead
Oh,
sleep. And I remember having this like moment of a sinking feeling, being like, oh my God, we have nothing to talk about. Like nothing. We went to Einstein's and I remember him saying he doesn't like cinnamon crunch bagels, which I don't know if you remember at the time were like a currency.
whoa.
And I
Yeah.
was
Who
like, this
doesn't
man
like
is
cinnamon
dead
crunch?
inside. Johnny Fitzpatrick.
Truly.
Yeah, so they kidnapped freshmen. They would run a naked mile. They'd poop on their rival team's football field.
What?
They'd stick
Ew.
forks in people's front yards. There was some grocer read
Oh,
sexual tasks
forking.
that, sorry, I've never heard of forking.
That is a real thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would you fork?
Because it's just I don't know like the story behind it, but that's a real thing. You can hire people to fork someone's yard.
You don't know the origins of forking in America, Kelly?
No. Yes. I
It
can
kind
learn
of
it.
reminds me
Should
of
I ask AI?
probably it kind of reminds me of post-it noting somebody's car. It's like doing something that's menial to clean up, kind of, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What a waste of cutlery.
Well, but also think about uh how much greater the water supply was than going into the yard with all the holes.
This person, I'm just like eyeballing these now. There's something about a root beer kegger, Cal. A root-
It's amazing. That's so
I didn't,
amazing.
honestly, I didn't even know people made root beer cakes, and it sounds delicious.
The payoff for the prankster is in watching the victim deal with the seemingly endless task of digging up and removing the forks.
I guess it's a better hobby than like cow tipping, which I always found cruel.
Oh, so cruel. Hey, buddy.
This person is talking about something
Come
called
here.
Project Graduation to stop rowdy, excited graduating students from going out and drinking or doing drugs or sleeping together. So on graduation night, they hosted an overnight lock-in, but it wasn't at the school. It was at drumroll, Incredible Pizza Company, which is kind of like if Dave and Buster's, Chuck E. Cheese, and Cece's Pizza were all in one. Arcade,
Oh.
go-kart racing with cheap pizza, but designed for families. You said Cece's though. Was it all you can eat for 4.99? Because
What a
that's the vibe.
steal. I
It's the
know.
type of place you have a birthday party for a 9-year-old boy. So of course none of us 18-year-olds are super thrilled. But most of our class went because we could and our friends were there. Um, the goal of yeah, see that's the problem. The goal of the evening didn't really work. The wild kids from our class were too cool to attend. And also they're going to do it on every other night of the summer. Besides, that's true besides graduation. The two most standout memories I have, besides like walking in on couples making out and random inlets of Incredible Pizza Company, are that one, we got this huge swag bag of things to take home at the end of the night. It was a nice large duffel bag filled with things like pens, staplers, tape dispensers, paper clips, and a three-hole punch. I just got excited. Surge protectors, power strips for dorm rooms, and more. Um, Second that stands out is we had to be dropped off and picked up by a parent, even though we were all 18 and had our own cars. I guess to stop us from drinking and driving. But the pickup time was at 2 in the morning, so our parents had to wake up. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Okay, that's a good point. I think that like it's a noble effort on behalf of the parents, but it kind of shows how parents are missing the
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi,
Oh yeah.
Hale. Oh my gosh, so cute. At my school, seniors participated in water gun wars, and the person that was assigned to assassinate me was a girl I'd known for a long time. She had been to my house and met my siblings before. To get me out, she went to my house, and while my younger brother was home alone, he let her come inside the house and hide to get me. My brother proceeded to leave for sports
Oh.
practice when his friend's mom came by to pick him up. I thought I was in the clear when I got home in the garage since no one was home. Imagine my surprise when she popped out and shot me. I genuinely think that's the closest I've ever gotten to shitting my pants. I was so mad at my brother for letting someone into our house while none of us were home, which is wildly unsafe, particularly when he knew I was. She's not mad because he let in a stranger. She's like, particularly when he knew I was participating in water gun wars. He was bribed so easily with a piece of candy.
That's so
Um,
funny.
this one says, I graduated high school in Northern Virginia in 2015. My friend group organized water balloon challenge. That sounds like senior assassins. That you paid $20 to participate and it was a winner takes all. I wonder if we paid money. I don't remember. There were about 30 of us who participated, so around $600 for the winner, which is a fortune to an 18-year-old. It was a fun way to stay connected with friends that summer. I would recommend it to high schoolers graduating as a way to do something fun in their last summer together. I will say, when one of my friends got me out, I was livid. We were going to her house to hang out, and that night, and I had just gotten out of my car when she popped out of nowhere and hit me with a water balloon. I felt irrationally mad, and I'm pretty sure I even went home. It's so funny looking back that I was literally the game, but I was one of the first people out, so I was disappointed. I exacted revenge by telling another friend of ours that we would be at the pool later that week, and he came to the pool and got her out there. I don't feel good about it still, but that was the game. I just think it's so funny what's so formative to people. I
I
think you're
know.
okay. She might be out there listening. Okay, this is the last one that I think just goes to show how not to scare parents out there, but this is what we got away with in the 2000s. It was a historical precedent set at my high school that prom weekend involved securing a prom house for your friend group to go to after prom. After prom, you were to go home, change, grab your packed bag, and start the drive to your destination in someone's packed Toyota Sienna. Way before Airbnb, someone would have to find some sort of connection at a campground, lie to a rental property that they were 25, or convince their parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, whatever, to allow a group of 18-year-olds. For much of the beginning of senior year, we would meet and discuss extensively how we were going to pull this off. Many of us were honors and AP kids with strict parents, coaches, etc. Somehow, some way, a month before prom, someone not in my direct friend group uh, shared that he'd been able to pull off having everyone at his grandparents' lake house in Indiana. Let's call him Blake. We knew it would take so much convincing to allow 20 to 30 18-year-olds to be able to do this, so we devised a plan. I have a vivid memory of ditching lunch to go to the library with a few of my friends to type up an itinerary. Uh, we filled it up with so many wholesome, non-alcohol related activities, all with timestamps. I printed out 30 copies at the school library. We met at Blake's house one Friday night and passed out all the itineraries. We shared it with Blake's parents. Blake's parents gave the okay. We took them all home. My mother, who grounded me freshman year of college for finding a beer in my Vera Bradley duffel, somehow okayed me to go away to this prom weekend. We had a kid from a different school who we had a kid from a different school who knew how who had a fake ID buy us probably $200 worth of Bud Light, Miller Lite, Twisted Teas, bottles of Burnett's flavored vodka. We genuinely did
No.
nothing that weekend other than drink copious amounts of alcohol, try weed for the first time, bought by the elusive quiet kid who no one really knew was going or even invited. And one of my best friends lost her virginity inside of a red Honda Odyssey parked outside the lake house. I'm still friends with most of these people, and we often reflect on how absolutely absurd, dangerous, and amazing that weekend was. It really served as one of the last times we were all together, having essentially one giant sleepover before the 20 to 30 of us all went to different colleges in different states. I turned 30 this year, so I'm on the younger side of millennial, blah, blah, blah. But I cannot imagine a weekend happening like that today. Sorry. It's kind of like sad and amazing to go to the lengths of making a detailed itinerary, but really it was all just like a ruse to
Right.
go drink
Yeah.
Twisted Teas.
Right. Yeah. Right.
I know looking back on Beach Week is kind of crazy to me because it was not.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't allowed to go.
You weren't allowed to go at all. I went two
No.
years.
But yeah, I never went to Beach Week. But what's crazy is they're still doing Beach Week. I will never do like imagine trying to control a house full of 18-year-old boys that all they want to do
Oh,
is drink and bring girls back. Like, who wants to chaperone that?
I
She said
know
it was
it.
awful.
We had chaperones that like to be like cool gave us they made a blender and they poured one wine cooler in it and we split it amongst 18 of us. But then they'd go to sleep and we'd go out and we'd be
Right.
drinking like Everclear out of a watermelon. And I'm like, they had no idea.
No, they just didn't want to know. Like, yeah.
But honestly, I now as a parent, I'm like, you knew it was going to happen anyway, and you wanted to make
Yeah.
sure your kid wasn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
Was
yeah.
like safe,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
You take out your dog.
Sorry,
I'll
no, the
wrap
dog's
up.
just going crazy. I'm sorry. He did so good. Look.
Oh, I'm proud of you. Thank you so much. Sorry it went long.
No, I'm glad. Hopefully there's some stuff you can use. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, girl.
Find
Bye.
Kelly at SoCal Dogs. Bye. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. That was funny. I didn't really know what to think going into this topic. We just like thought it'd be like a fun thematic thing. And LOL, the best are such rule followers. I love you so much. Never change. I hope you don't mind if we're like laughing at one of your stories. Like we're laughing with you. We were people that didn't want to get in trouble. Kelly, now that she's a foster dog mom, you know, obviously I can't keep her on the airwaves until late into the night. But thank you to Kelly for joining me. Thank you to you guys for listening. I apologize for taking the 2 weeks off. And then, you know, these 2 weeks I've just been trying to find people I love who I know well to kind of talk to me while I'm trying to, you know, sort through grief and I don't know, find the new normal. And yeah, we'll see where it goes from here. But it's always a pleasure doing this podcast. I always want to stay connected with the best. If you want to hear more personal things going on in life, go to patreon.com/BeThereIn5. Sometimes it's a paywall to make a buck. Sometimes it's more requests for privacy, if I'm honest. Just with things that like I don't want to expose you to if you don't want like if you don't want to hear about like a miscarriage or like my feelings about Meghan Markle's most recent interview. Like I don't want to impose it on you. So that's like more of a thing you can go choose to listen to if you want bonus content that's a little more unpolished. And LOL as if this is polished. But regardless, I appreciate your time. It is always a privilege, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. As always, let me know your thoughts, and I'll let you know mine. I'll be there in 5, I swear.